and welcome to the Dice Tower. This is my weekly live Q&A. Normally I do these at the studio and everything. Today I'm at home because we are getting ready to go to Essen. Our flight leaves tonight, so we'll be flying out tonight. So just getting ready. You can see I'm getting packed here, getting prepared. Actually, I'm pretty much ready to go. I just have a few more minor things to handle before I get ready to go. So this is our weekly live Q&A. If you have any questions about anything, go ahead and ask them in the comments, and I'll try to get to as many of them as possible. Realize that the quality of this may not be quite the same as what you're used to seeing because we're doing it from my home computer rather than live at the studio. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm doing it too early. There's not as many people here, although I figured maybe some people from Europe might be here just because it's not too late there either. Another Monday morning. We are halfway through fall, and the temperature here in Homestead is 83 degrees. So there's that. Played some games of the weekend. Played some more Chronicles of Crime. What a game. I also played Show and Tile, Haunt the House, and I'll probably play a couple more games with my kids before I go. Is this a Toronto's Blue Jay hat? It is. I got it at the stadium itself, actually. So that's cool. Why wasn't there a week in review last week? Well, that is an excellent question. Because there definitely is a week in review scheduled. I did not look at it. Yeah, the week in review went up this morning. Well, why wasn't there a week in review last week? Never mind. That's because we didn't review any games the week before. We had only done... we had played live stuff all week. We did that live testing stuff. Am I going to Essen? Yes, I am. How many pallets of games are you going to bring back this year? Hopefully just 2. Well, actually, we're going to get games not just for ourselves for reviewing purposes, but we're also hunting down games for the different Dice Tower libraries. Have you heard any rumblings about someone picking up and reprinting The Downfall of Pompeii? I have not, I don't think. I was in Orlando over the weekend, and it was crazy hot. It's not crazy hot. It's wonderful hot. I like the weather here. What does a little dice guard say before he falls off the tower? Blah, blah, blah. Are you still watching Attack on Titans? Did they come out with another season of it? I haven't looked at it in a while, maybe. Haven't seen a look back in a while. I thought for sure there was one posted last week, and I know for sure there's one coming this coming week. You say you're the Siskel and Ebert of board games. I don't think I'm fat enough to be 2 people, so no. Hopefully not fat enough. I'm down 41.5 pounds as of this morning. It's been kind of a slower week, I guess, losing weight. Maybe I lost 1 pound last week, but I guess you're supposed to lose just that much as time goes by. We'll see what happens as I go to Essen. Will I gain weight there? We'll have to wait and see. When are you going to review Seven Wonders Armada? A lot of these questions are coming. When we get them, probably. I don't have it yet. I don't think I have it yet anyway. I got boxes downstairs of games that have shown up, but we'll probably have it after the Essen. And it will probably make the hot games category. We're going to be bringing back games with us in boxes and things. And then we're going to ship a whole pallet of games. The ones that we bring back, we're trying to bring back the quote-unquote hottest ones. Going to Dice Tower Con for the first time. Any good restaurants around the hotel area? Sure, there's a lot of them, but I wouldn't be able to tell you which ones are the best. I usually just say, where should we go? And someone else says, let's eat here. And I'm like, all right. And I'm pretty happy with whatever. What reviews have you pre-recorded for while you're at Essen? Oh, a whole ton. Actually, I think there's 4 Miami Dices going up. Miami Dice shows. Anyhow, there's 4 of them going up this week. What can we expect in a Spiel live show? Well, the same thing you always expect. Still working on that as we speak. Keyforge or Magic the Gathering? I don't know. I'll have to play Keyforge for a while first. I just did get 14 more decks for Keyforge. Opened them all, looked at them all. They're very different, all of them. So I actually have them packed, and I'm going to take them with me. And if I have some downtime, maybe me and Jace will do like a marathon of Keyforge over the weekend. Any tips on losing weight? I love food too much. Well, I this is what I've discovered for sure is that losing weight is going to be different from everyone. Everyone will tell you gladly what their thing is, and there's always some new hot thing going on. Like right now, it's keto, right? Keto. Okay, sure. I'm willing to bet a lot of money that in 5-10 years, no one will even mention keto. Just like we don't mention the cottage cheese that everyone was doing when I was a kid. But I mean, maybe we will. Maybe the people will look at it as a good diet. But I just eat less. It takes a while to get started on that for sure. But I found that if I eat small amounts of snacks throughout the day, I'm looking forward to that next time I can eat a snack. And after like 2 weeks, you're not as hungry all the time, drinking lots of water. But the biggest thing for me was walking 10,000 steps a day. Now, I don't get it every day. So if I look here at my, well, there's my weight dropping over the past 6 months, I guess. Past 30 days, it's been only 10 pounds. But I guess that's pretty good for 10 days. See, past 7 days, only a pound, 0.2. Anyhow, let me see. For steps. Okay, so here you can see how many steps I walk every day. Now, you'll notice there's like a small one here near the end. That was a few days ago. I went and did someone's funeral. I was in charge of the funeral and running everything. And it was just, when I got home, I looked at my thing and it said 6,000 more steps. And I said, no, just not happening. And then here you can see a really big one. That was when we went to Universal Studios. So I walked a ton there. But for the most part, I'm hitting 10. You can see 10,000. I hit it almost every day. I've missed 3 days in the past 30. And in the past, since July 30th, you can see I've been pretty consistent. Some weeks more than others, but those are usually convention weeks. And then there's 2 missing weeks. I guess my phone wasn't really keeping an eye on it. Like here's the past 7 days, and there's my funeral day. This is today, but I'm not done with today yet. I've gone out walking. I walk around 2,000 steps at a time, and so I've done it twice. So I'll probably do it 3 more times, and then we got the airport tonight. So this may be a bigger day than normal. We'll find out. Whenever we go to the airport, and the other guys like to sit there at the gate, that drives me nuts. So I was like, I'm going to go explore. Not like Miami Airport's a big exploration airport. There's really not a lot to do there. But whenever we get to an airport, I always walk around the whole thing. So my tips are the walking and the just eating less food. But also, every once in a while, I let myself eat a nice meal. Like yesterday, me and my wife went down to the Keys and had a nice seafood meal. Not super extravagant, but it was a nice meal. And then I ate just a small snack for dinner and went on. And I barely was a blip on my radar. I do that every once in a while, and that helps. You ever think about bringing your family to big conventions? Yeah, no. It's a business trip. Top 3 Steven Spielberg movies. Well, let's see if I can get a list of them first. Let's see here what I like a lot. Oh, well, okay. Probably number 1 is going to be Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I really like that one. Of course, these are movies that he was... Oh, I'm looking for movies he was a director of. Was he a director of that one? Yes. Okay. So that would be in the top 3. A lot of movies here I like. I really did enjoy Ready Player One, but I don't know if I put that in the top 3. I really like 1941, actually. Very few people like that one. It's kind of a quirky movie. I mean, can I put the 3 Indiana Jones? Because that's probably what it would be. But we'll pretend I won't. I'll just put 1 Indiana Jones. And so Last Crusade's my favorite. And see, I can't put Schindler's List because I think that's it's a great movies, and Munich, both great movies, but they're hard to watch more than once. So I'd pick something I would want to watch multiple times. Saving Private Ryan maybe would be in the top 3. And maybe AI. I really liked AI. It was a little long. Catch Me If You Can's pretty good. All righty. Well, anyway, back to questions. Let's see here. There's one thing not to make sure not to miss at Essen, to be our booth. I was going to show you guys something, but I don't know if I have it. Let me see if it's in the other room. I'll be right back. Jimmy comes out to the camera. Go say hi.
Okay. Hi. Say hi.
Did you say hi?
Yeah.
Look right at that green dot. What you doing? Playing with Legos?
Mhm.
All right. I don't have one out right now, but we got a cool poster that we're gonna have at Essen Spiel. So that's what I would say not to miss. Are there any party video games you play? Just the Jackbox stuff? Where do you exchange dollars for euros when you are in Germany? I try not to do it in Germany at all if possible. I usually do it through my bank here. What did I have for breakfast today? Small slice of cheese and what else did I have? Some sort of fruit, but I can't remember what it was. Must not have been very memorable. I was going to eat a piece of key lime pie. I was like, all right, pre-trip Essen, today I will eat a piece of key lime pie. It was my one, I eat one piece a month or whatever. And we opened up the fridge and the kids had eaten it all, which caused a great discussion on eating dad's key lime pie. And at the same time, I was sitting there going, well, guess I won't be gaining weight through the key lime pie. You think there are 10 best games with magnets in out there? Props, possibly. A lot of people, if I'm ignoring your question on what do you think of a specific game, it's because I have not played it yet. Again, if I played a game, I try to get my review up as quickly as I can, or it's coming up this week, or I haven't played it. Do you have a grass green hat by now, like a green fedora, like a forest bright green, or Irish green fedora? No, I still haven't been able to find one. I keep looking for one. Did a lot of negative things about Monopoly, especially the components. Don't the makers of Monopoly know that, and why don't they fix it? Because it makes them money. It's really inexpensive for them to make Monopoly. Really inexpensive. I would wager a copy of Monopoly costs them 50 cents to make, maybe less. I don't know. It's pretty cheap. So why would they add that? They're not trying to get quality. They're just trying to get people to buy the game. What's the name of that Steps app? The one I just showed you is called Pacer. The only negative thing for me about Pacer is it does not have a companion phone app, but I'm already involved in it. There's also like a Dice Tower group for Pacer, so if you want to compare yourself to other people in the Dice Tower, you can. Christian Peterson has a blog on FFG giving Eric Lang credit for the idea of the unique game concept like Keyforge. Yeah, I read that. Actually, I think I might have known about that before that blog, but that was very nice of him to give credit there. And that was a really interesting blog. If you haven't read it, I recommend it. How do you like Halloween Horror Nights? I managed 8 of the 10 houses over the weekend and thought the production value was great as usual. Yeah, it was really good. I went to 9 of the houses. The only one I didn't go to was Blumhouse. The best one, I thought, the plant one was pretty scary, but the Poltergeist was really good. There was a couple of rooms in there that were just pretty neat and amazing. There was one that was really good. Some Patient Zero, I think it was called. But it was also very disorienting. If you don't like strobe lights, you wouldn't like it. After a while, I was kind of like, yeah, okay, they can lay off the strobe lights. How many people are traveling with you tonight? 5 of us, me, Jason, Kenny, Z, and Sam. And then we'll meet Eric, Mandy, and Suzanne. Mandy is already there. Eric and Suzanne will land a few hours before we do. My favorite Mel Brooks movie? I don't know. Dead and Loving It? I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. Will the Edge Dawnfall be in your top 100 this year? I don't. You mean like in my top 100 that's still coming out? No, I'll spoil that. It's not. I like it a lot, but it did make my top 100. There are a lot of games they start, Connor. There are panels that go throughout the days as well. Sure, yeah, there's lots of different panels that go on. ET in the top 3? Nah, I'm okay with ET. Huh? Yeah, I know. Running a long road trip, what games would you suggest for the car for kids 7 to 10 years old? I don't know. I'd let them borrow my iPad. That's what I would do. Those little games that you do in the car to pass the time only last so long, I found. What games would you say are must-haves from the last 3 to 4 years? Says Adam, who's been on a break for gaming. I would look at my top 10 for each year. They've changed slightly, but they're pretty close to what I think. I've seen you use no less than 3 different gavels to judge your game reviews. I think I've used 4, actually. When do you use each one? Nowadays, I just use 2. I just replaced it. I got a new one that someone 3D printed for me, an amazingly cool one. And that one I use for almost all my judgment. And then I have the big giant one, which I use if I want to smash something. What is this? What is it?
It's an elephant.
It's an elephant. Oh, okay. I see. This is its trunk.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How big is the poster? It's around 11 by 17. It's about this big. You have a lot of Legos? We have a ton of Legos. Although none of my girls really got into Legos too much. They have fun. They build them. Melody did it a little bit. My one daughter, Violet. They play with them occasionally, but not a ton. But Jimmy really loves them. So I'm glad. I already had them all. Hooray. How long is the trip to Essen anyway? Let's see. We leave. Let me do some math here. Current time in Germany. Okay, so right now it's 4:17. So it's 6 hours ahead. So we leave at 9, which means we'll leave at 3. So it's a 14-hour trip total. That includes a layover, though. A 3-hour layover in Madrid. No, if you live in Madrid, we are not going to come by and say hi. We're going to land there, probably eat, and then go to Germany. You know a good way of selling used board games at Essen? I do not. Would you consider doing a top 10 years of board gaming? Which year the best year for gaming? Yeah, I might do that again. I think the last time I did it, I want to say 2012 was the best year for gaming. I think. And I still am pretty confident in that. There's a lot of strong years. 2017 was very strong. 2018 is very strong year so far. We'll see. What's my hat size? My hat size is extra large. I don't know the actual numbers, but whatever extra large transfers to. What?
My trunk is to put in my thing.
Okay.
And fix it.
Which day at Essen is best, Thursday or Friday? I would definitely go Thursday because some games will sell out by Friday. So why not go Thursday? Any chance about seeing a video of Melody teaching games to non-gamer friends? I don't know. I was thinking about Melody make some videos from college for me, but she's busy and I don't want to put that on her if she doesn't want to do it. You think you're going to get invested in Keyforge? I don't think so. I mean, if someone else has a deck that I really like, I might try to trade him one of my decks for it, but I don't think so. When Dice Tower Con 19, my family may not want to stay the whole time, but I do. Would it be a good idea to volunteer or something at the con? If you've not gone before, I wouldn't recommend you volunteer the first time. Just go and have a good time. And if you've gone once, then volunteer and help others. Let's see here. What game do I think would be the most popular game this year from Essen? That's a hard call. I mean, the new Azul is going to do well, obviously. The new Pandemic because of the strength of their names. But like, what brand new game? I don't know. I'm really leaning on Chronicles of Crime right now. I think that's a pretty hot game. But I mean, obviously, there's going to be like some of the big name games are going to be very popular. Are you excited about 200,000 subscribers? I am definitely there. So watch Shark Tank. I do. I haven't. The thing about Shark Tank is I'm never quite sure where I am on Shark Tank. Like what season? I just pick an episode and watch it. I answered this a million times. But what games are best introduced children to board games? I'm doing lists on those. Do you actively avoid roll and move games? Not necessarily. You played Campy Creatures. I have not. First says it's an Eggs and Empire killer. Well, I didn't think Eggs and Empire was all that fantastic, so I thought it was okay. What's the hardest thing about being a dad with such a large family? Money. And what's the greatest thing? I'm never alone. Have I seen the new upcoming Kickstarter for Monumental? No. I'm sure it's going to be a fine game. I don't know. Do you think they will have some surprise announcements during Essen? They almost always do. What's my favorite non-trading card game? I guess it would be my favorite card game. If you watch my top 100, whatever card game is at the very top, I guess. Did you do anything special for 250 episodes of Board Game Breakfast? Nah, I'm getting kind of tired of doing these commemorative episodes. I guess 250 would have made a good chance to do something, but I don't know. Have I played the new Mario Party game? Not yet. Will Z ever do a 10 post-apocalyptic games? Maybe. What are you doing? How many tickets will be available for your Essen live show, and do they sell out fast? Well, we give them away for free. We don't sell them, and I don't remember. And yes. What's the Bible sign behind you? That just tells you, it says a quick reference guide, emergency numbers, like if you're upset, read John 14. If you're weak, Psalm 18, 1 through 29, things like that. Our website has all the top 10 lists for children and teaching subjects. That would be at gamesandeducation.com. I just got Kemet at a board game auction. Are there expansions or accessories that I need straight away? Play the game first, see if you like it.
Why is the elephant thing?
How many pounds will I bring back from Germany? I'm hoping less than 5. But I do a ton of walking when I'm at Essen. Although, I mean, honestly, I'm doing a ton of walking these days anyway. So there's that.
Oopsie.
Boy, I'm like keeping up with questions today. This is a rarity for me. Do I think it's worth owning and keeping games that you can only do a single playthrough? So you mean like escape room games? Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I would keep them. I might keep it if I want someone else to go through it. If I'm like, oh, someone else will really love this, then I'll give it to them and let them play through it.
Now from the elephant.
What game took me the longest to appreciate because of the learning curve? Tigers and Euphrates, maybe? Do you have any news on a new release of Carson City? I know they're reprinting it, but I don't know that there's any kind of new release for it or anything. How do I obtain an Essen ticket for your show? Just swing by the booth Friday morning. We'll be giving them out Friday morning. First come, first serve. My son's also wearing a hat. Is that a Vasel thing? Not particularly. He doesn't wear hats all the time. And, you know, like all little kids, they don't want to wear hats at all at first. But nowadays he's wearing, I don't even know where that hat came from. I didn't get it for him. It's not a hat you wear in Florida normally. But sure. Are you surprised Asmodee doesn't have a Mysterium expansion this year? No. I don't think Mysterium did that well. Did okay. Where did I buy my raccoon hat? I think Z gave that one to me. I just watched a trailer for Escape Room movie. Jumping the Shark? Nah, escape rooms are popular. So, of course, they're going to make a thing about an escape room, turn it into a movie. I was kind of interested into it, but it looks like everyone's going to die or half the people are going to die. I'm not as fascinated by that. When you review Discover Lands Unknown, do you feel you need to see a few copies before making a full review? Well, I don't know about that. I'm gonna play through it and see. So each game comes with 2 terrain types. So mine was desert and polar. I've already opened it. In fact, we're opening it on camera. There's a live unboxing of it coming up this week, which if you don't want to be spoiled on anything, I don't open all the packs of cards at all. I just kind of open the box and show you what's inside the box. So you can see, obviously, it's polar and sand, and then there's 12 different characters. I've only seen 2 of them because, again, I haven't opened everything up. So it looks like, from a cursory look through of the rules, it looks like there's 5 scenarios that you play through. 2 are on one of the terrains and 3 on the other terrain. And then there's a competitive thing that you can play, another scenario. That's something you can keep playing when you're done with the first 5 scenarios. So it looks like the game does end. I don't know. Again, I'm not saying bad or good things about it. I'm going to play it first, and then we'll let you know. But time stories remain more irrelevant if they release 3 at a time like Unlock Exit stories do. I don't know exactly why it's being released so slow, but we'll see. You think on a whole it's been quite a weak year in board games? Well, this gets asked every single year. So happily, wait, is it right here? Where did I do that? I made a list. Yeah, okay. So I was making a list. I like lists all the time. Made a list of great games that have come out in 2018 so far. Rising Sun, Root, Space Base, Thunderstone Quest, Reef, Western Legends, Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, Shards of Infinity, Chronicles of Time, Reckoners, Expansity, Cryptid, War Chest, Hail Hydra, Gunkimino, Architects of the West Kingdoms, Critical Mass, Wildlands, Choose Your Own Adventure, Trade on Tigers, Shards of Infinity, and then I got tired of making a list, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait till, and that's almost all pre-Essen stuff. I could also put on here the reprint of Fireball Island, and we got the new Magic the Gathering game. So no, it's not a weak year. I don't even know. Yes.
That's the elephant on that game.
Yeah, I see that. All right, that's a mouse actually. But whenever someone says it's a weak year, I don't even know what that means anymore. Like there have been weak years in the past. There is never a weak year now. You might not like all the games that came out, but there's no way of the almost 2,000 games that come out over the course of the year that you think most of them are bad. Oh, even if you think most of them are bad, that there's not like 30 you think are great. How can that be a weak year? Most people can't buy 30 games a year. Let's say you buy 5 or 6 games a year. You can definitely find 5 or 6, or you are one picky gamer. Every year is a good year at this point. I can't even imagine, like I said, I can't even imagine there being a down year right now. That kind of question always kind of mind boggles me. You guys decide which games get solo reviews and which ones get Miami Dice. I should answer this in the FAQ. It gets asked all the time. We just decide. Usually it's if we've all played it. What's your advice about making a purchasing decision? If possible, play the game. Secondly, watch a Dice Tower review. Have you had it? Let's see. If you really dislike, someone's mentioned, should they give the expansion of Time Stories a chance if they really dislike the first one? I don't think so. If you don't like the first one, I can't see that you'll like other ones. Yeah, I see them.
I just saw the fireworks. That's the mouse right there.
I see it on the elephant. Do you think reviewers have gotten soft when it comes to board games? It sometimes seems the industry has become so friendly and interconnected, hardly any board game gets a bad review nowadays.
Is this the mouse right here?
I see it there too. There's no way I'm not going to speak for or against all reviewers. I know there's a lot of tough reviewers out there.
Is this the mouse right here?
I see that too. I don't think you need to just look at the Dice Tower. We definitely don't give good reviews to everything, and we definitely don't let our friendships. There are some designers who I really like, and I've really not given their games good reviews. We just get through that somehow. I don't think we've gotten softer. I think at the Dice Tower, we've definitely gotten harder as time goes by. But I don't care. I'm just going to tell you what I think about games. I'm not going to try to be harder. I'm not going to try to be soft. I'm just going to tell you what I think about a board game. There's no benefit to me saying a game is really good when I don't like it. You give a hot dog with everything in Iceland? No, I did not. Fair version of Carcassonne is Carcassonne the city. What are the spots to eat in the afternoon? I just grab a sandwich. I'm assuming you're talking about Essen. I just grab a sandwich in the hall or a pretzel. Will Chief Sokotoa be at Essen? He has never been to Essen that I know of. Usually, if there's any kind of operation in Essen, I'm the person that's handled that. But as far as I can go back through the decades of crime fighting, I don't believe Essen has ever shown up at anything. That's good. I don't want my two lives to mix. By a week, I mean nothing really new. There's hardly anything really new that comes out over the course of a year. A new concept, a must-have game. A game is must-have if it's fun. I really feel sometimes like we are like in dire need. Please let things not be that good. Why? So you don't have to get them if they're not that good? Like, well, if that's not innovative, I'm not getting it. How about if it's just fun? Get it. And if it's not, don't. And if you can't afford it, don't. I guess I don't see this need all the time to kind of like, well, I need something to completely blow me away. Yeah, I want to see something completely blow me away. And I do every once in a while. Like, again, Chronicles of Crime, I know I've mentioned it several times here, but this one I just blow me away with the simplicity of its use of QR codes. It works really well. And I like it a lot. I don't care if it's like totally new or not. It's just a lot of fun. Will there be another weekend review before Essen? There just one up today, right? Why would I do another one? I'm confused. Is the one I did today not going up? It has views. Have you considered doing more first impression videos? No, I just do them when I can do them sometimes. But we're already kind of at max capacity with video outage. If you could re-review a game you've reviewed from the past, which board game would you choose? Any board game I want, because I can re-review games from the past. If I want to, I will. I usually don't. How many steps do you think you're going to walk at Essen? I'll guess that I'll walk an average of 15 to 17,000 steps a day. We'll see. And the next question is, how should one prepare for Essen? Have some good walking shoes. Can you please not be carrying a stack of games when we meet this time in Essen? Well, if you come by the booth, and I do have it on the schedule, if you go to dicetower.com, you can see our schedule there. If I'm at the booth, I'm not carrying a stack of games, so that's your best chance. Let's see here. Do you plan on continuing the Why I Hate series? Not especially. I mean, I might, but for the most part, it was just a one-off on Monopoly. Now, I might do some other Why I Hates in the future, and I told Derek to keep the template for that video alive because you never know. But there's no real impetus for me to do it. How many deliveries do you get a day? Like from the, I mean, just 3 usually. United States Postal Service, FedEx, and UPS, and then occasionally DHL or some other place, and maybe, and then again, one of those might not come over the course of any given day. There have been days we've got no packages. Those days are very rare, and so usually when it happens, I'm like, is today a holiday? Like on Saturday, I think I got 9 boxes, maybe. So I'm not even opening them until I opened the Keyforge one because I wanted to, because I was like, what is in this big box here? And it was Keyforge. I thought it was something else. But other than that, I'm kind of waiting. Some of the recent Dice Tower videos are not under the Dice Tower upload section on YouTube. Why I Hate Monopoly and We Can Review are among them. Huh. All right. Well, that's a weird thing. YouTube has weird hiccups every once in a while. Weird. I'm looking at it. It's underneath my, like, We Can Review has 612 views. So far, when I go to uploads, you're right. No, We Can Reviews under my uploads here. I see it. I just went to the Dice Tower and I see that We Can Review and I see Why I Hate Monopoly. They're both there. Who knows? Have you ever shopped for board games in Japan? No, I mean, I went to Japan. I don't think I've ever shopped games there. Why you skip my question? I don't answer every question. My apologies. How do you rank Mage Knight today? Mage Knight's a fine, good game, and that includes the Star Trek retheming of it. It's just very, very complex and long, and I don't necessarily play games like that as much these days. Will I be at the Dice and Mystics event this year? I will be. What were some of your favorite toys or toys as a kid? G.I. Joe for sure. Lego. Mega. What were the little Hot Wheel cars called? The mini cars. Micro Machines. Hot Wheels. Board games. What are you doing? Are you counting cards here?
Nope.
I'm showing these cards to people. What game is this from? Numbered cards. What number is that? What number is it?
2.
Nope. Kindergarten still waiting. All right. Let's see. Again, if you want to know about all of our Essen plans, go to dicetower.com. We have our whole schedule there, including everything about our live show is there, right on the front page. Any place that sells doner kebabs in the USA. I'm sure there's places. I haven't found them myself, and I wouldn't fly to Germany just to get them. What's the last game you played with our son? What is the last game we played together, buddy? We played Builder Boom, I think. No, maybe we played something since then. I don't know. I want to say it's Builder Boom. Do you think will be a good time for badge pickup at Dice Tower West? I don't know. I mean, you'll have to ask them about that, exactly when the badge pickup is. How come you always skip my Gloomhaven questions? Because I'm getting tired of answering Gloomhaven questions. People always ask the same things. Are you still playing Gloomhaven? Are you tired of Gloomhaven? I still like Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is still a great game. Where am I in my campaign? I'm somewhere. Let's see. Is Tidal Blades worth kickstarting? Oh, super fun. I really liked it. They quoted me on there, and that's not, I don't ever let anyone quote me. If someone asks for a quote for a game, I give them an honest and true quote. or no, or I don't. How do you cook meals for so big a family? We just, I don't know. Although my wife is not as bad as I'm worse than she is. If I make a meal, if I make a food, I make enough for our family, regardless of whether they're all there or not. Could this be me and my wife? I'm like, guess we got enough for fourths.
Yeah, I did it.
If you could bring a cartoon series back from your youth, what would it be? The Seven Cities of Gold from Nickelodeon. I think it was from Nickelodeon. Cool Spider-Man shirt? Yeah, I like it. It's also super comfortable. Is the Jarl edition from Champions of Midgard worth it? Yes. Yeah. What age did you start playing games with your kids? Okay. Let's see. That would be. I was 25 when I started playing games with my kids. Big pans. Oh, yeah. I went to Costco and bought some really giant frying pans that we use for our family. Actually, I didn't just do that. I was cooking men's prayer breakfast for our church and everything and making these big eggs and things like that. And I was like, I want mega pans. Are you hyped for Simon's Project Elite? Oh, very hyped. I love that game. I cannot wait till that Kickstarter launches. It's going to be super exciting, and I hope the game is fun to play. What's the highest rank you've got to in Hearthstone? I don't know. Let me look. And I know this because, I guess we can look here. Now, realize this. I almost never play Hearthstone against live people. I played against a live person today. You can try it. If you look for Dice Tower, you'll find me. And he used some new Mecha Cthulhu card thing that just blew me away. I thought I was going to win the battle, and then he beat me. And at first I was kind of like, that's stupid. And then I was like, all right, no, that's a legitimate card in the game, and that's a legitimate strategy and everything. But still felt kind of cheesy, but whatever. So my ranks don't go up as fast. So let's see. I am a level 19 paladin, 19 priest, 18 shaman, 22 mage, 22 warrior, 23 hunter, 12 rogue. I don't play the rogue hardly at all. 19 druid. And I don't ever play the whatever that dude's name is, the bad guy. Warlock. I just don't like the Warlock at all. I love this game though. Lots of fun. But I mostly just play against opponents, the computer opponents. I'll make up decks. I play with everything. I don't restrict myself, so I only have one legal deck anyway. To play against it. I just made one so I could do a few things to get some money, so I get some more packs. But for the most part, I just play with all the cards. So I have a cool elemental deck. I have a cool mech deck. I have a cool death rattle deck. I have a cool divine deck where half the cards in the deck are all divine. My favorite deck right now is a druid deck. Or no, yeah, it's a druid. Yeah, druid deck that just has a lot of huge creatures in because that's what I like to do. Yeah, they're all fun for me. Picked up Adventure Time Munchkin. I know you hate Munchkin, but rethemed to Adventure Time. I heard it's perfect for the IP. It makes it a better version. Yeah, it probably works for that IP. I don't know that I would still want to play it, though. Have you already picked out the hats you will bring to Essen? Yes, they're already all packed, except for the one I'm wearing, which is this one. I leave one hat that I wear. I guess I could have taken this one. I always see if they're, crushable and all. But Yeah, that's but the other hats are already packed. How old were my kids when I started playing games with them? Oh, huh. I don't know. All different ages for all of them. Any plans for another live gaming marathon? I feel like we just did one last week when we did the live gaming all week. We did it for about 6 or 7 hours a day times 5. That's 35 hours. So maybe we'll do that again. What do you think about mixing all the expansion packs from Millennium Blades to help set up and tear down time? I would do that. Is the Dice Tower going to bring back as many games to review from Essen this year? What do you use to judge a game worth bringing back? We'll bring back pretty much any game. Doesn't mean it's going to get played. What are your thoughts on doing more live playthroughs of games? We just did a whole week's worth. It'd be great to watch you guys play more games at a higher quality. Well, playthroughs online are a lot of work. Like the last week we did, we called them testing, and I call it testing deliberately because then we get a whole lot less yelling at from people for getting rules wrong and stuff, because we're learning as we go. There's going to be some Keyforge action happening at the Dice Tower booth. Probably not. I'm not working for Fantasy Flight. Is the Dice Tower my full-time job? It is. Starting my gaming group back up for the fall winter season. Should we start with Dice Setters or Everdale? I've only played Dice Settlers, but it's very fun. Have you been privy to any of the gameplay changes CMON has made to Project Elite? Yes. However, they're not 100% done with the fine-tuning it, so I'm going to let them reveal them when they launch the Kickstarter. I've never been to Switzerland, no. Really enjoyed your last Top 100 list with Z and Sam. Keep it up. Well, that's good because we have all the way recorded up to 20 through 11. The only one we have recorded is 10 through 1, and that's because we're going to do that one live at the studio. What kind of promos we have at your booth? We'll have a whole bunch of different promos, different cards, some of the chips, some new Dice Towers not seen before, and the posters. That's the coolest thing I'm really happy about is we have a Dice Tower poster that shows all the different people involved in the Dice Tower. So hopefully you guys will like that a lot. I think it looks really cool. Is War Chest too similar to Hoplomachus games on both? I don't. Just because it has poker chips doesn't make it similar to a Hoplomachus game at all. Like, I wouldn't even remotely have thought that they were the same. Would you mind if someone would borrow your mini game with the dice and use it in a game where it's one of the mechanisms? What mini game with dice? I've only designed Vicious Fishes and Nothing Personal, and only half of Nothing Personal. I don't know what you're talking about. What suggestions do you have for expanding besides HeroScape that make Magic the Gathering Arena the Planeswalkers better? That's all I got. I'm so disappointed in that game. That's one of my biggest disappointments of the last decade is how Wizards of the Coast just dropped the ball so hard on that game. It was so... I'm still mind-boggled at it. They are a company who makes Magic the Gathering, so they know how these games work. When they release a new Magic set, they release like 6 starter decks and boxes of expansion packs. Here they released a single starter set that you could not even combine with itself, technically. Like, everything in it was unique. No expansions. They wait like 8 months before the first expansion, very small expansion. Then they like another 6 or 7 months before another single expansion, and then they stop. And they're like, well, it didn't sell well. Well, no kidding. Nope. I'm sorry. I get really annoyed about this. I don't understand why they didn't release it. Like, even HeroScape, when HeroScape came out, had immediate expansion packs. And that's what made the game bust and all these cool expansion things you can buy. You have layovers on the way to Essen that you enjoy? I personally prefer there to be no layovers, but we'll have a good time. We've never been to Madrid before. When recording a top 10, do you ever take recording breaks between the numbers or do you just power through? Oh, like in that hour, we usually just power through. The mini game at the end of your Q&A with the horde. Oh, that's just rolling dice to see which one rolls higher. I just make up the rules on the spot. Do what you want with it. Codex or Mage Wars Academy? I prefer Codex. You should ship games back from Essen in a waterproof plastic Rubbermaid type huge tub. Safety first. Why? I think we should put them in boxes and put them on a pallet. If it falls off the boat, I don't think the Rubbermaid container is going to help too much. You get a chance to do sightseeing in Essen, or does it only work? For me, it's only going to be work. We're going to be arriving Tuesday evening. I'm going to try to do some work Tuesday evening, all Wednesday work, all Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We come back Monday. There will be no, I mean, I'll play some games on Saturday night at the Dice and Mystics, and I'll take my time when we eat and stuff, but it's mostly work. When do you fly for Essen? In just under 12 hours. Since you're a reviewer, as a publisher, if it came to you asking how to right their wrongs for a second edition of a game you previously didn't like, well, I don't think it's been that way. I think publishers have asked me before, but I don't think I'm that like potent to them that they're like, we must fix this for Tom. I'm not even sure I'd want them to. Well, I root for the Dodgers or Red Sox. I don't have any skin in this game. I used to like the Red Sox a lot more before the fans got super cocky. I've never been a big Dodgers fan either, so I don't really care. What is the next Dice Tower Essentials game coming to market? We'll announce it next year, probably. Are there any good card drafting games you can suggest? Yes, I've done a top 10 drafting games. Check that out. Can you pull some strings and get Love Letter reskinned with a Game of Thrones theme? No, I can't, and I won't. Huh. Well, apparently if I do these Q&As at 10 a.m. in the morning, I have a much easier time at keeping up with the questions. Is the rumor is true that Dungeon Twister's coming back? I don't know. I've heard some things about that maybe, but I had nothing to do with it. Baseball or football? Well, to play baseball, to watch baseball. Azul or Sagrada? I think you have to watch my top 100 to see if one of them shows up. Actually, never mind. I think I already done that. Azul. I don't know why you'd compare them, though. Jack Vasel Memorial Fund auction starts soon. Am I throwing any Essen games into the special box? We'll see what I throw into the special box. Do you think we'll see a rise of unique games like Keyforge in the next couple of years? I'm sure Fantasy Flight will continue to print some out for a while. It's very difficult technologically to do, I think, so probably not anytime soon. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a lot of. I just don't see that we'll see a lot of them. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Are there any good games you can recommend for someone that enjoys the deck building aspect of Magic the Gathering more than the gameplay itself? Yeah, Dominion. Keyforge being online as well might kill Hearthstone for me. I have not played Keyforge online. Hearthstone is just so awesome because there's things it can do that you can't do in a card game. Like it can add permanent stats to people. It can make you shuffle a card back in your deck, retaining those stats. That's some pretty cool stuff. So last week, a peek at how you guys work normally. No, we don't normally play games for 5 straight days like that during the day as a testing thing. I'm considering making a testing Tuesday next year where we do it every single Tuesday, where you just watch us play games live testing them. We'll see. You think we'll see any more expansions for Descent? I don't think so. I think, and I have no knowledge on this, that they're gearing up for Descent 3. We'll have to wait and see. Have you heard anything about the rumored potential resurrection of Hero Quest? I haven't. I don't even know what happened to those guys who were trying to steal it on that one Kickstarter thing. I'm not sure what happened there. I've not played Guards of Atlantis. What do I think of the anniversary set of Ascension? That sounds like a great idea. Do you think you'll sub another Dice Tower personalities like Jason or Mandy or Eric? Well, you got to remember, Mandy lives in Canada. Eric lives in Connecticut. We live in Florida, and Jason has a job. Jason came down a few days last when we did that testing week, but for the most part, it's hard to get these guys on camera because they're somewhere else. How many new games on your top 100 this year? Maybe, I don't know, 18 or 19? I'm not sure. I don't remember how many it was. Will you get to try Betrayal Legacy at Essen? I don't know. I know it's coming out very soon, but I don't know if it will be there or not. Hey, man. All right. Well, as we're getting closer to a closer, oh, there's a question. Any chance you come to Origins as just an attendee and not have a booth? Would that even be possible at this stage? It was fun listening to your top 10 experiences, and so many were at Origins. Yeah, look, guys, I'm right. I know that people are disappointed by hearing we're planning not to come to Origins, but yeah, right. There's a couple reasons. Well, there's many reasons, right? Not like my relationship would well, anyway, the biggest thing is just time and money, right? It's really expensive for us to go to Origins. We take in all our equipment. We set up this thing. We do this live streaming there, which people, while they like it, don't like that much. And especially considering Board Game Geek is doing it at the exact same time and doing the exact same thing. Now, if I may, I think we do a better job, but that's that's like minuscule maybe, and that's just preference, right? Not that I'm saying our quality is better. I really like my guys who run the, who do the interviews. But besides it, it's still kind of the same thing. And we don't get that many views on it considerably. So when I do that, when I pull everyone out, I'm paying all these people for a full-time job to go to, and then I got to pay for hotels and flights and all that stuff on top of that. And then we don't do our actual reviews. Then we come back, and 2 weeks later, Dice Tower Con. And that's so exhausting and so over the top that I don't think we can do it. So yeah, sure, we can go there as just regular attendees, but then we're still not doing our job. And I think that's what a lot of people forget. When we go to these conventions, we're not recording the reviews and doing that. People are sometimes, one of the advantages Dice Tower has is that we put out a lot of video reviews. We put out more than anyone else, I think. We could not do that if we were going to conventions all the time. So with that being said, I think we're going to close this down here. Is Imperial Salt Descent 3.0? Sure, it's more like a Descent 2.5. It would have been interesting when you did your top 250 with Jason, see how many of them he owned. I'm not even sure Jason knows how many games he owns at this point in time. The only thing I could say that I might consider in Origins, I might send a couple people to these different conventions that we can't get to. But again, I need to make sure that we can do things while they're gone and such. I really like, that we're doing our own conventions now, and I'm excited about our own conventions, and I want you guys to come to them. And so I hope that that's fun. A dedicated team for conventions now. that wouldn't work either, right? Because people don't go to the show to meet the dedicated team for conventions. They go to the show to meet the people who do the reviews that get sent out. They have to be the same people. How comes Board Game Blender and Token Punch Launch air at the same time? They just go up whenever Z and Sam do. They used to go up opposite weeks, and sometimes one or the other one would have to skip a week. And I said, you know what? Just put them up when you want to put them up. Alrighty, well, that's it for this time, folks. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy Dice Tower. We have a full week of content. There will be no delay, no nothing. A new Top 100 is coming out this week. Like I said, 4 Miami Dices. I have 12 more of my own reviews coming up this week. There's going to be a look back on Wednesday. You might see some videos from Essen, but I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock into that. So there you go. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Dice Tower. See you next time. Bye.
And you like it, yours. And you like this one.
Let's do it.
Okay, give me the stars.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. That's right.